the gate of humanity and the manifestation of the name of truth. Is it at all possible that God Almighty, He who is worshipped by right, should create man within creation as the most significant of all of His servants with respect to His absolute dominicality and with respect to His universal dominicality in all of His realms? That He should make him the most thoughtful recipient of His glorious address, the most comprehensive mirror to the manifestation of His names, that He should create him as the most beautiful miracle of His power in the fairest of forms, in order to receive the manifestation of the greatest name, as well as that quality of the greatest name inherent in the other names, in order for him to assess and perceive the contents of His treasuries of mercy, that He should make him an investigator of secrets equipped more than any other creature with balances and instruments, and He should make him the most needy of all creatures with respect to His infinite gifts, the one suffering most from annihilation and the one most desirous of immortality, that He should make him the most delicate, the poorest and neediest of animals, most wretched and subject to pain in his worldly life, but most sublime in disposition, in the highest of forms and characters. Is it possible that God Almighty should do all this with man and not send him to the eternal realm for which he is suited and fitted, and for which he is longing? Is it possible that He should thus negate the whole essence of humanity, act in a manner totally contrary to His own veracity, and perform an act of injustice that the eye of truth must deem ugly? Again, is it at all possible that He who rules justly, whose mercy is absolute, should bestow on man such a disposition that he took up the supreme trust, from which the heavens and mountains both shrank, in order to measure and know, with His slight and petty measures and crafts, the all-encompassing attributes, the universal workings, and the infinite manifestations of the Creator, that He should create him as the most delicate, vulnerable, weak, and powerless of beings, while yet entrusting him with the regulation of all the vegetal and animal life upon earth, and causing him to intervene in their modes of worship and glorification of God, that He should cause him to be a representation in miniature of His cosmic processes, that He should cause him to proclaim His glorious dominicality to all beings, in word and deed, that He should prefer him to the angels and give him the rank of vicegerent? Is it at all possible that God should bestow all of this on man and not give him eternal bliss, the purpose, result, and fruit of all of these duties, that He should cast him down to low degree as the most wretched, ill-fortuned, humiliated, and suffering of all His creatures, or that He should make of intelligence a gift from His own wisdom, and a most blessed and luminous tool for the attainment of happiness, an inauspicious and somber tool of torment for that wretch, thus acting in total contradiction to His absolute wisdom and in opposition to His absolute mercy? No, it is by no means possible. In short, just as we saw by looking at the identity papers of an officer in our comparison, that his rank, duty, wage, instructions, and equipment prove that he exists not for the sake of some temporary battlefield, but rather that he is proceeding to some permanent kingdom, for the sake of which he is exerting himself, so too those to whom truth and certainty have been unveiled are unanimously agreed that the subtleties inscribed in the book of man's heart, the senses written down in the notebook of his intellect, the equipment contained in his essential character, are all turned towards eternal bliss. They have been given to man and fashioned in accordance with this ultimate goal. For example, if one servant and illustrator of the intellect, called the imaginative power, is told that you can have 1,000,000 years of life and rule over the world, but in the end you shall become nothing, it will react with sorrow instead of pleasure, unless deceived by vain fancy and the interference of the soul. The greatest of transient things cannot then satisfy the smallest faculty of man. It is then this disposition of man, his desires extending to eternity, his thoughts that embrace all of creation, and his wishes that embrace the different varieties of eternal bliss, that demonstrates he has been created for eternity and will indeed proceed to eternity. This world is like a hospice for him, a waiting room for the hereafter.